Welcome to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Manny Melito here. We're going to be joined shortly by Jerry Mercado. Week 9 tomorrow. We're going to get to what happened in Week 8 here just shortly, but we're going to have part 2 of the Jonah Hoe story. We're going to send it down to Jerry on the field. Jerry, take it away.
So last week we ran part 1 of the Jonah Hoe story. We had so much great stuff that we had to come out with a part 2. Now let's have a look at his injury and his record-breaking performance. Before the success would come and the records would fall, Jonah Hoe would have to endure some challenges by way of injury.
Tell me what's going through your mind. You see him injured, you see him hurting. What's going on through your mind?
Well, at first I wasn't quite sure because he caught a nice little drag pass and he got tackled on their sideline. I thought, boy, separated shoulder. Ended up not being that, but talk about being tough and trying to be a team guy. We took him out of playing corner, which was tough because he'd been very, very good for us there. But he carried the rock as much as he could, and literally about the second time he came off the field and he couldn't hold his arm up, he's almost screaming in pain. I said, we're done. This is not right for you or for the team.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, and I was really mad. I really wanted to go back in, but they said your season might be over as it is. You don't want to go in there and break your collarbone or whatever. So they made me sit out for the second half, but it was really bad. At that point in time, I was thinking, I was just praying that I'd get another chance to go out there, because sometimes when you're playing offense and defense, you got to pace yourself, like you have to know the speed of the game and everything. But I was really, really scared, and I just asked for another chance. If I could get out there, I wouldn't let anything, go out that wasn't on the field. I was just really, really hoping for another chance. And
he would get that chance, not missing a single game, including a record-breaking performance witnessed by both his grandfather and his dad.
Oh, that was amazing, and I think Joe Ortel said well that it was very unassuming. It was a very quiet 430-something yards, whatever that was.
You knew it was good. You knew it was solid. 88 the second play of the game, but there were so many 3-yard runs and 4-yard. I thought, gosh, he's probably got 330. He's got a chance to make a school record, but I was floored when I got done and I heard he had 436. It's just you can't fathom it. You can't explain it. But when you go back and watch the film over a couple times, you see the special parts of the game that you just can't coach. The spin move, the balance, the ability to break a tackle, reverse the field. It was really, really special to witness for that kid.
I was just thankful that it finally happened, because me and my line had been talking like, oh man, you got 280, you just needed another big run or something to just put me past that 311 mark, because that's where I wanted to be. I really didn't think I was going to break any other records or anything, but
Whether he goes on to play D1 football or not, Jonah Hoe has remained true to the simple things.
It's bigger than him. He realizes that. And it's even not about him. He doesn't play for himself. He plays for me. He plays for his papa. He plays for his community. He plays for his coaches. He plays for his friends. He plays for his school. Plays for his family in North Dakota and Hawaii. Because that's kind of the person he is. He's pretty quiet. Doesn't say, he leads more by action than anything else.
Welcome back to WSN's The Zone on Fox. I'm Manny Melito, and hey, we're right here at the Lamp where we saw a heck of a game last week between the Chiawana Riverhawks and the host Southridge Suns. And right away, the Suns coming out and letting Chiawana move the football on them. But wait a minute, David Mazie, a 98-yard interception return, pick 6 for number 5. He's happy about it. So Chiawana gets another chance. They move the football again, nothing doing. Southridge gets it back. And we got Grigg to Ely Thomas. And you think 14-0, here come the Suns. This game is going to be run away with. But we move to the second half. Now the story in this one, even though it was 14-0 going in the second half, both defenses playing very well. Remember that the first score that Southridge had was a defensive touchdown. So, Chiawana only allowing 1 score on defense. Very impressive against Caden Diaz in this offense. Diaz moving the football well all game. But in the second half, the energy going all to Chiawana. 14 unanswered points for the Riverhawks to start things, and especially sophomore running back Austin Urlacher. We noticed that Clifton Lozano was on the sidelines without pads to start the second half. Urlacher filled that void beautifully. The first handoff he gets, 56 yards for the score. Chihuahua moving the ball again, gets the other 14. Now we wind it down to the end of the game. There was a few turnovers, back and forth here. Chihuahua, Southridge making defensive stops. What is it going to come down to? And you think back to the Kamaikan game. Well, it came down to Logan Ellsworth kicking a field goal to win it. What does the young sophomore do this time? Does it again. Are you kidding me? Logan Ellsworth to put the Riverhawks up 17-14. Now you think, oh, here you come, the Cardiac Kids. We're going to see Grigg complete the ball, Brendan Kelly, and we're moving the ball, and now it's Connor Mertens' time to kick. A deep, deep field goal attempt. What's going to happen? Connor Mertens, the kick is up. It looks like it has the distance, but he's into the wind, and he looks to be just about 3 yards short, and that's how this game will end. 17-14. The Chihuahua Riverhawks coming out on top once again. What a great game, and it was my honor to call that one. What a beautiful matchup that was. Now, Jerry had a chance to talk to some of the Riverhawks after the game. Jerry, what do they have to say?
You guys went into halftime, and what was said to you guys?
Well, we pretty much made no adjustment. We just had to get more hard. And we just had to want it more, and that's what Coach told us. And he just let it up to us. He just left the locker room. He was like, "This one's up to you. We did everything we could, and this one's up to you guys."
Graf came in at the end, and he was like, "Urlacher, get ready to run the ball," because Lozano was hurt, and I got pumped up because this is one of the first times I've actually ran the ball on varsity.
Now, you came in the second half on your very first carry, and you took it to the house. What was that feeling like for you?
It was amazing. That was one of the best football moments I've ever had.
You came through in the clutch once again. Just tell me about what it was like to be able to come out with this victory behind your field goal kick.
Well, I'm really proud of our defense for our offense. We got a pick six, so our defense held them to 7 points the whole 4 quarters. I was really proud of that. And the field goal, I didn't start because I was backup kicker 2 weeks ago, and I kicked it for Kamaikan. But they knew that I'd pulled through one, so they decided to put me in again, and I was just glad I didn't disappoint anyone. I knew I could do it, and it felt good.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Great job. Now, it's time to look at some more MCC action, starting with the Kennewick Lions, the Pasco Bulldogs. Let's have a look.
Kennewick versus Pasco in a 3A bout. Kennewick needing to win out to contest for the playoffs, and Pasco hasn't won a game yet. And Devin Ramos goes Vamos up the field. 17 carries, 264 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Luis Murillo of the Pasco Bulldogs, even though the Bulldogs have not had a win, Luis Murillo has been a bright spot. He would have 19 carries, 154 yards, 8.1 carry per average. It would not be enough. Too much Kennewick Lions. They would come out with the victory 40-0 over the Pasco Bulldogs. Hanford versus Richland, the rivalry game. Hanford hasn't had much luck versus Richland in the past years. In this game, it would be all Jalen Devine. Devine on the ground, slashing through Richland's defense to the tune of 40 carries, 220 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jalen Devine and the Hanford Falcons would be too much on this night. They come out with the victory over Richland, 31-14. Kamaikan travels to Walla Walla to take on Jonah Hoe and those Blue Devils. This is Jonah Hoe. Jonah Hoe over 200 yards once again in this game, but Kamaikan would go up early, putting together a running game of their own. Kyle Robertson, the quarterback, he would rumble into the end zone. He would have 11 carries, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And through the air, Hunter Showers, 6 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. he would have a good game. Johnny Jansen with the touchdown. Looks like Kamaiken's pulling away from this one, right? Wrong. Walla Walla would come back, storming back. Walla Walla would recover a fumble. They would go into the end zone, and down by 2, they'd have to go for a 2-point conversion. Can they make it? Oh, it wouldn't be enough. Kamaiken comes out with the victory over Walla Walla, 35-33.
Taking a quick look at the standings heading into tonight's game. Big games, Kamaiken, Hanford, Southridge, and Kennewick, all with playoff hopes still alive. Is going to come down to this weekend.
And that was a quick look at your MCC standings. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the Big 9 action and where everything gets mixed up over there. So stay tuned to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Welcome back to WSN's The Zone on Fox. Hey, the Eastmont Wildcats so far have been the most consistent team in the Big 9. Can they keep that consistency against the Eisenhower Cadets? Let's have a look.
The playoff-bound Eastmont Wildcats would face off against the Eisenhower Cadets. Ridge Harmon, 21 carries, 108 yards. Speaking of standouts, Darren Hargrove, 17 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Eastmont Wildcats, they come out with the victory, 28-3. The Sunnyside Grizzlies would take on the Davis Pirates, and Eduardo Sal Marone would get the passing game going early. This to Trey Searle for the touchdown. This one to Joseph Contreras. Contreras would have 5 catches, 103 yards, and this touchdown. He would throw another one to Trey Searle. Eduardo Salmarone with the terrific game. Carlos Pierre-Vajaro for the Davis Pirates, throwing touchdowns of his own. This one to Eric Briscoe for the touchdown. King Harvin with the touchdown reception. And also Jackson Lewis would catch a touchdown pass. It wouldn't be enough. The Sunnyside Grizzlies would be too much. They would come out with the victory 43-28 over the Davis Pirates.
Moses Lake at Wenatchee. Wenatchee quickly. Tyler Mooney intercepts Justin Simmons on the first drive, and Isaiah Grant Sims 39-yard run right after that. Big first score for the Panthers. Sims would have a huge night. 259 yards and 3 touchdowns on just 25 carries. Sims having an excellent year. Trina Rubio, one of the stars for Moses Lake, 6 catches, 140 yards. Wenatchee, the Panthers, big win, 48-20 over Moses Lake. Quick look here at the standings. Eastmont alone atop the Big 9, 6-1 in the driver's seat.
All right, so that's a look at the Big 9 standings. Let's take a look at Jerry's power rankings with the Big 9 in the MCC. Jerry, take it away.
Looking at the power rankings for the Mid-Columbia Conference the last week of regular season football. Number 3, the Southridge Suns, huge game tonight versus the Hanford Falcons. Number 2, the Kennewick Lions. Throwdown, big, huge matchup tomorrow with Kamaiken. Chance to get into the playoffs. Number 1, Chiawana Riverhawks. Walla Walla will be their opponent tomorrow night. Over in the Big 9. Number 3, the Sunnyside Grizzlies in the 3A. Not a chance to get into the playoffs, but still the number 3 team. Number 2, Wenatchee Panthers. Another huge rivalry game against the number 1 team, the Eastmont Wildcats. 6-1 atop the Big 9.
Oh, very interesting, Jerry. Hey, when we come back, a look at next week's matchups. Where's Jerry going to have his picks at? Plus, top players list, all that good stuff. The stuff you want to see here on WSN's The Zone on Fox. Hey, welcome back. We're going to send it back down to the field with Jerry. Mr. Mercado, show us what you got.
All right, now it's time for our MCC WSN Top 10. Let's have a look. Let's go into WSN's Big 9 Top 10, starting with number 10. One of the all-time greats at Eisenhower, Colney Castle. At number 9, a kid who does it on both sides of the football at wide receiver. He's one of the best. At DB, he might be the very best. Joseph Contreras of the Sunnyside Grizzlies. At number 8, one of the best offensive threats in the Big Nine, Ridge Harmon of the Eisenhower Cadets. At number 7, all this kid does is catch touchdowns from the Moses Lake Chiefs, Brett Moser. At number 6, with 7 interceptions, this kid knows how to get takeaways, from the Eastmont Wildcats, Trenton Osborne. At number 5, a playmaker, dual threat at quarterback for the Sunnyside Grizzlies, Eduardo Salmarone. At number 4, the new Swiss Army knife for the Davis Pirates, a kid that does it all, Carlos Pierre Bajaro. At number 3, the ultimate dual threat at quarterback, one of the leading rushers and one of the leading passers, Justin Simmons of the Moses Lake Chiefs. At number 2, one of the leading rushers in the Big Nine, Darren Hardgrove of the Eastmont Wildcats. And at number 1, a kid that needs no introduction. You can hear his name over the PA speaker at every game he's been in. Isaiah Brant Sims has been doing it all this year. Time for the WSN Top 10, starting with number 10. Luis Murillo of the Pasco Bulldogs continues his campaign, almost 1,000 yards. At number 9, Kyle Robertson has had to deal with his share of wide receiver injuries, but at quarterback, he has been tremendous for the Braves. At number 8, another Kamaikan Brave, doing it on both sides. Johnny Jansen makes big play after big play. At number 7, a new name, Kevin Del Angel of the Southridge Suns, one of the best defensive ends in the MCC. At number 6, Alex Weber. At middle linebacker, you won't find anyone better. He is a tremendous run stopper. At number 5, another Chiawana Riverhawk in a revamped passing game. Left tackle Caden Mon has been opening up huge gaps for the Riverhawks. At number 4, the bowling ball, Caden Diaz of the Southridge Suns, only a junior, but one of the hardest runners you will find out there. At number 3, Jalen Devine. He has already tacked on a few 200-yard rushing games this year. He's one of the better running backs you'll find. At number 2, Devin Ramos continues his success. He is only second in rushing behind one man, the WSN number 1 this week, Jonah Hoe of the Walla Walla Blue Devils, continues his MVP campaign. It is time for Jerry's Picks. Friday, October 26th, Kamaikan at Kennewick. Classic rivalry game. I think the Kennewick Lions come out with the victory in this one. Pasco at Richland. Richland, Pasco both coming off a loss, but I like the Bombers in this matchup. Walla Walla at Chiawana, the hottest team in the MCC, maybe the east side of the state. The Chiawana Riverhawks have seemed to figure something out. I think the Riverhawks come out with a close victory in this one. In the Big Nine, Wenatchee at Eastmont. Wow, this is going to be an exciting game. Isaiah Brant Sims, Darren Hardgrove. But you know what? I think the Wildcats are for real. I think they win this game. Sunnyside at Ike. Sunnyside with Eduardo Salmarone's great performance last week. I'll take the Grizzlies in this one. Davis at Moses Lake. Justin Simmons, a dual threat, incredible year. Moses Lake has been inconsistent, though, with the wins and losses. I do think the Chiefs come out with the victory in this one, though.
All right, so tomorrow night, we've got a big one. The Kamaikan Braves, the Kennewick Lions, another K-Town showdown. We always love these. It's going to be a packed house, full of excitement, so be sure to tune in to WashingtonSportsNetwork.com, the live webcasts that we're going to have available for you, as well as Saturday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30, WSN's The Blitz on News Talk 870 KFLD, and all the good stuff that goes on WashingtonSportsNetwork.com, forums, videos, photos, everything. And of course, you can shout Jerry and myself out on Twitter. Just get the links below here. And hey, we hope to see you tomorrow night. Kennewick, Kamaikan. Have a good one. We'll see you next time on WSN's The Zone on Fox.